Tyler, over here. You've played a lot of good defense against a lot of really good offensive players. Your matchup with Damask, can you explain how difficult it is to keep him from getting to his spots and doing what he likes to do?
I mean, yeah, credit to him. He had a great game today. I mean, I feel like I gave him maybe a couple of easy baskets, but for the most part, he was hitting some tough shots, especially with the left hand. So you got to tip your hat to that. But it's the other areas where we need to improve, I feel like.
What other areas?
A whole lot of things. I don't really want to get into it.
Jesse in the back. Go ahead, Jess.
This is for Max and Tyler. Obviously, it's been a tough stretch since February. In your mind, what do you think you guys can do to fix what has happened, to put yourself in position to make a run in March?
I think just, trying to take it day by day, one game at a time. We can't get ahead of ourselves, look past, what we got in front of us. So I think it's coming to work every day with I'm going to, give everything I got, pour into the team mentality, moving forward. And I think, like I said, just taking it one step at a time, keeping your head down, not focus on what others might think or say about you, and just really focusing in on yourself and pouring everything into the team, I think is what we're looking to do.
Yeah, I think just going off that, it's having the mental focus to do everything the right way, whether that's in practice, whether that's outside the basketball arena, whether that's right here on the court in these 40 minutes. You got to be able to stay locked in for the entire time and do it well.
Michael.
Tyler, Steve being in foul trouble obviously meant that you had to create a lot of offense on the inside. I guess how much more difficult does that make your defensive matchup on the other end?
I mean, yeah, I played what, 38 minutes, so that's a lot of running up and down. So that might have had something to do with it. Banging bodies definitely take some energy out of you, so that could have had an effect. But I feel like I was forcing him into some difficult shots, and he was knocking them down for the most part.
Jim.
Chucky, what's going through your mind right now? You're just kind of staring down. Where do you?
Just checking the box score.
Where do you see this team going from here, do you think?
It can go either way. Yeah, we're in control of our own destiny, so, we can go downhill from here, or we can only go up here from here. It's going to start from leadership up here, these three guys, and, it's going to start in practice Monday. We got tomorrow off, so we're going to get our bodies right, our mental right, and we're going to come to practice working, If guys want to come and show up and compete, then we're all there for it, So we're just going to be ready, and we're definitely going to show. We've shown some growth, We battled. They made their runs, and we came back and responded. But there was just that last run we couldn't respond to. So it's just a matter of fact of how are we going to finish games out, and we got to figure it out very quick, or else, like I said, last post-game interview, it's going to be a quick march for us.
Go ahead, Joe.
You said you were looking at the box score. What jumps out at you from this game? Maybe things you guys needed to do a little bit better to flip it.
Just having Steven in foul trouble, that kind of hurt us a lot. We were able to dominate the post with Tyler, but we couldn't get Steven the post to dominate. He's a big factor in the post for us. We run our offense a lot through him and Tyler, so just not having him in the game with us really hurt us a lot.
Jim in the back.
Tyler, that was a pretty emotional pregame ceremony with Howard. What'd you think of it, A, and then B, how do you kind of turn from that to an actual basketball game?
I mean, yeah, it's definitely something. All I got to say about Coach Moore is he's an amazing man. It was really great to see him and his former teammates, his former coaching staff, and I was here right after it happened, so I was able to go talk to him. But just to have the Kohl Center show that much love and enthusiasm for a man like that, it really shows what a special place this is. And I honestly feel like it honestly got us going for the most part. It got me going. I know these two going up here. Mm-hmm. But, I feel like it was pretty easy to watch that and go out there and want to play for him.
If I could say something that, just saying that before the game, seeing everybody's support, makes me really proud to wear the Badger jersey. You know, that's why I have a Badger tattoo. You know, this is not just a fan base. It's not just basketball. It's not just sports. It's beyond that. You know, it's a brotherhood. It's a family. So that's why I love wearing this Badger jersey. It means more than just playing basketball. You know, just playing the sport. So, you know, I'm really proud to be a Badger. We'll always be proud to be a Badger.
Very nice. Go ahead, Jeff.
For Chucky and Max, Chucky said, you know, got to get back to work, got to be all in and that. You're facing a team next that really tattooed you guys the last time you played them. Does that play any factor at all, knowing that they really dominated you and you have to be sharp, very sharp to beat them?
100%. You know, I would probably say that's the only game this year that we were like, damn, they're really into our stuff. So, you know, this is a game where we've been looking forward to for a long time, and we're definitely going to be ready for them this time.
Yeah, I mean, I just have to agree. You know, like you said, that's the next game that we got on the schedule, so that's the biggest game. But, you know, trying to stick with the same approach. You know, live by the mantra, like never really get too high, never really get too low. Trying to keep level-headed and stay focused. But yeah, looking forward to that game. Was it Thursday? Perfect.
All right, thanks, Dave. Obviously, I appreciate the crowd and everything for the pregame for the Moore family. That was unbelievably special for them and for our program. Appreciate Illinois and Brad and his staff willingly. You know, I talked to him a few weeks ago. You know, to wear the ties and to you know, it was a special day for really hard, but a really special day. For everybody, and specifically the Moore family and Howard. It was awesome to see him here and be with him before the game. But in the game, in terms of, I thought our fight was really good from a number of people. Guys really played hard. We continue to have a lapse here and there, and that's going to get exposed against better teams. You know, some offensive rebounding in the first half that gave them some buckets. I thought we got in a situation 7-minute mark, somewhere in there, where we fouled too much. I think we went 3 straight between a layup given up after a free throw that we had made, and then 2 straight fouls, one in transition and one on Shannon on a jump shot that you can't do against, you know, at this level, against this type of team, to give them a little momentum. And the game was obviously a 3-point game or 2-point game at that time. In fact, we had the lead when the layup got given up to tie it. So, you know, I think, like I said, I just from the effort that I got from, you know, a certain number of guys, it really showed me some grit that guys have, and guys that got to continue to work at it and get better at it, because this is, you know, this has been, these guys don't like this, obviously. We got competitors. I thought foul trouble hurt us again. Steve got him out of rhythm. Having John, AJ on the bench towards the end of the first half, and John, obviously, in a game where you have to play a lot of small ball, not having him on the floor the last, 5 minutes or 4 minutes when he fouled out. So that'll take questions.
Jeff, go ahead.
They're a tough team to defend, obviously, if you look at their numbers. How do you think your defense did for the most part?
I mean, I'll have to look through the tape and see to see exact breakdowns. I thought, you know, Shannon hit some tough shots in the first half. You know, I thought we were, you know, transition defense. I don't know if that's exactly accurate, because I don't know exactly how that gets statted. In 19 in transition, I thought that the first half offensive rebounding, you know, and a little bit in transition, and we turned the ball over 7 times. And I think they had 14 points off 7 turnovers, and they're not all live ball turnovers, but it's, you know, when you turn it over, you're not scoring. So, and you knew you had to score. I mean, this game wasn't going to be 50-48. We knew we had to be able to score, and like I said, to be able to defend the small ball lineup. This is the most we've played small, and we've done it at times, but not for this extent. But then having the guys in foul trouble, you know, and then other guys not step up and contribute and really help us, you know, hurt that effort when you have to play that small. Yeah.
Michael?
What were you looking for in that matchup between Tyler and Marcus? I guess what were you hoping for? And
Well, he forced him into tough shots, and he hit some tough ones. Give him credit. He's a hard matchup. And watching all the film, he's been guarded 20 different ways. They put small guys on him. They put big guys on him. They've tried to go double him. They've doubled him with little guys. They brought it from the backside. I just felt that we force him into tough shots, minimize the threes, because they obviously spread you out. It's a very similar approach to what Penn State did a year ago with Pickett. And then, when we did get him to miss, there were some offensive rebounds that we didn't come up with. And again, when it's at this tight of a game, coming down the stretch, you have to, John got his 5th foul on an offensive rebound. So you got to clean up when you do get him to miss. You got to clean those things up. And that was, I thought, I'll go through it. He's strong. It's a hard matchup. It's like trying to guard Tyler Wahl. It's just get you to do a dribble back down, and you got shooters everywhere, and they're running some actions. So trying to play as much one-on-one as you can, knowing that there's a lot of other stuff going on around you. And so that answer your question, Mike? Okay.
Greg, amidst this tough stretch, I know it's got to be one game at a time, but is it hard to not look at the bigger picture?
And what's the big picture?
And just in terms of standings and seedings and things like that?
No, because you're still trying to climb. This league is hard. This is one of the better teams in the country. We got enough that we have to continue to try to get better at that'll help us going forward. So right now it's all about Rutgers and getting ready for that as we head into next week. And, we just get playing consistently. We play good basketball at times, but we're inconsistent. And some of that's, guys that get themselves in foul trouble. It's contributions off the bench. We can't lose water or momentum. As I always say, when guys come off the bench, we can't go backwards. And so it's that. And when you really get in the real trenches of these type of fights, it exposes those, the grit and that we need to continue to spread and build throughout everybody that steps on the floor.
Coach over here. You were talking about playing small ball a little bit, and with the foul trouble with Stephen Crowell, can you talk about that decision to go with the 4-guard lineup for some extended minutes rather than?
We planned to do it anyway, just because, really their only true post player they're playing is Danja. So we expected, knowing he plays about 7 minutes a game, that we were going to have to play small. And then you prepare if Steve's in there, it's coincidentally got himself in foul trouble, which really, with the small lineup, didn't matter. Didn't matter from a defensive standpoint. It actually helps you defensively. I thought our advantage to be able to keep Steve on the floor is what we could do offensively with him. But the defensive component, without Danja, it's hard for a big to be able to match and run with Hawkins because he's sliding out of so many screens. And Gary Air is the only other option, really, and you're or Rogers, But if that's if you put him on a non-shooter, that makes it a little easier. But when you have Domas doing booty ball and then 4 shooters and actions around it, it's hard for a 7-footer that's not. He's used to, wrestling in the post. So it's a complete change of defensive concepts for him. So that didn't. Yes, offensively that hurt us with him on the bench. He's a good offensive player, but how we were going to have to guard them, it probably was lining up that way a lot anyway, regardless of his foul trouble.
Jesse?
Greg, you mentioned a couple weeks ago when you talked to the team, you'd reminded them that they had played at a very high level for a long time, and they had been that more than they had been, during a losing streak. What is your level of concern about whether what has happened since February is fixable at this point as you get this kind of runs longer?
Well, we're playing some decent teams. Today was obviously a really good. You just keep working away at it. You keep pointing out the things that we have to get better at, and it varies from individual to individual. So other than continue to teach and point out things and help guys get better, I thought in terms of the fight we played with, specifically the guys that got the major minutes, it was good. That I haven't had to really worry about that. it's a matter of, the margin for error is so slim amongst any team. Really, like I said, the only outlier really in our league is Purdue, and Edie makes them the outlier. So your margin for error is really slim, and all those things I've talked about in terms of, fouling, getting wrong guys in foul trouble or anybody in foul trouble, getting them to miss a tough shot and come up with a rebound. It's all individual or just small little things that when you stack them together, it puts you in a bad position. So, and you continue to push, and you continue to reward the guys that are playing winning basketball and making winning plays, and a lot of it has nothing to do with what shows up on a score sheet, on a stat sheet. So you keep rewarding those guys and pointing out the good, and then helping the guys that are trying to find that space for them.
A couple more for Coach Jim and then Michael.
Greg, it's not always easy to keep perspective, and today's kind of a perfect example. I mean, you have what happened before the game, so powerful, and then you have a game to play. How do you balance that?
Well, I've had 5 years of practice. This has been, and I was able to at least show that minute 30 little footage they showed before Howard came out to the team earlier this week, because I knew it was going to be an emotional dump on everybody, and really kind of give them the backstory of Howard even prior to the accident, because I knew we had to play a game, right? So I didn't want them to be emotionally shook, other than seeing Howard. They didn't get a chance to see Howard before the game until he came out. I did, and my staff did, which I'm glad we did, because that was hard. And but yeah, it's perspective, as Brad said before the game, as I thanked him for wearing the ties. He goes, there's a lot of things in life that are bigger than basketball, and this is one of them. That I'm happy that we're able to do this today for Howard and his family and everybody that put so much time into making this happen, and really not letting people forget. I think that's sometimes in today in the world we forget, and we move on because lives are moving so fast. But tragedy struck one of our own, and it's great to see all his former teammates back, and they've been nonstop with their support. The job that the sacrifice and commitment that Richard has made to help Trennis and Howard Sr. and Howard Abase and Jarrell. So it's just Chucky, I was told, had an unbelievable statement in here about how special it is to be part of this program, and yeah, we all want to win more games, and we will. But this gives you it's much more than a slap in the face, Jim. This gives you a cold hard direct punch. But I'm just thankful for everybody, and thank administration all the way down, all the people that were involved. This was a long process to put this together, and very fortunate that Howard was able to be here, and he knew where he was. I know that. He knew where he was. He gave me a big smile when I saw him prior to the game, and squeezed me so tight. He's gotten stronger. He squeezed me really tight.